Hi everyone, this is Momita and welcome to Life Lessons Talk Show. Today I'm going to share a real life experience, a real life incident where I'm going to talk about how I used to feel like a machine when I was a young girl and now how I feel like a human. Today's video I'm trying to slightly make it different because 10 good habits, 5 good habits, I think I have talked earlier, and of course I'm going to talk about it in the coming days. But today I am here to share a real life experience. Real life experience in the sense, when I sit down, I take my time to do my own thoughts. I take my time to reflect how I was in my 20s, now how I am in my 30s, how I want to live my life when I enter into my 40s. I think about it. I don't know how much of it is going to be real in the coming years, but I still think about it. The benefit of reflecting is that it gives me a moment to pause my life, pause wherever I am right now, and it gives me a moment to be grateful about good things in my life. And it also gives me a moment to think about my past, like where I come from, how much of life I already spent, how much of life I already experienced, what all things I know, how I channelize myself, how I function all throughout. That's the benefit I see when I sit down and I reflect, when I sit down with my thoughts. 5 years ago, sitting down with my thoughts used to be a nightmare for me. It used to be so difficult. But since I started my therapies in the year 2022, I learned that sitting down with my own thoughts is equally important. That is like self therapy, that is like self talk. That's the moment when you are sitting down with yourself, you are totally raw and vulnerable to yourself. You are not judging yourself, not shaming yourself for anything, but you are trying to figure out the pros and cons. You are trying to figure out the good things and the bad things. You are trying to figure out like where you made the mistakes. And that's one thing I have really started enjoying. So there was a time when I used to rush about everything, while eating, while walking, while studying, while making my projects, whatever it is. I always spent my life in hustling all throughout. And that was a disaster. Back those days, I did not consider this as a disaster because I literally used to make plans that today these are the tasks I'm going to finish. I used to make my own to-do list, and by the end of the day I used to go back to the list and I used to see what all things I accomplished, and whatever tasks I couldn't finish, I literally used to beat myself up in the background that I couldn't finish this, I couldn't finish this task, I couldn't sit down and work on this. Oh my god, I'm so pathetic. And I used to compete a lot with my classmates while I was a university student. So that was also a moment when I used to tell myself that, ah, how come I did not finish this task, and now I am lagging behind them. Now I am not ahead of them, I am behind them. And that used to make me feel so bad about myself. I used to feel like a loser. And eventually I used to feel exhausted, I used to feel tired very easily, Like almost every single day, I used to hit my bed totally tired, exhausted, with no energy left in me and no gratitude in me. To be honest, I was not that grateful. Almost 10 years ago, i I was in my corporate job, I was doing well, but I was not grateful. I was like, I already studied hard, I did well in university, I learned the right things, I learned the right skills, so that's the reason I got this job. I deserved it. So, yeah, I used to pat my back, of course, for sure, but I was never that grateful. When I started learning about gratefulness, I started learning like how I was exhausting myself. I was literally pushing myself to the limit so that I can feel exhausted. And I used to take pride in feeling tired. That was the funniest part. Like I used to tell my friends, my parents, like, I did these work today and I am so tired. The moment I'm going to hit my bed, I am going to fall asleep so quickly. It was really fun for me. It was like a fun activity. It was like a game for me. But now I understand that this is not the right way to live. And since I did it, that's the reason now I talk to people and I tell them, don't hustle. Don't hustle, take your time, sit down, reflect with yourself, reflect into your own thoughts, give yourself a self talk. Like every single day, try to give yourself at least 2 minutes of self talk. It could be about anything and everything. It could be like how you are looking, how you're preparing yourself maybe for a meeting or for a presentation, how you are planning your day. So give yourself a little bit of pep talk. There is nothing wrong in giving yourself a pep talk. It's not a bad thing. We generally think giving yourself a pep talk is really bad, but no, it is not. Now in the present time, I make a list. I still make a list like what all things I need to finish today. And suppose I have a list of 10 tasks, and suppose I finished only 7 and I couldn't finish 3 tasks. Maybe I did not get time, maybe the work I did, it consumed more time than it was expected. I don't beat myself up now. I'm like, okay, fine. It's okay that I couldn't finish 3 tasks today. Let's keep it at the top of my list for tomorrow. So, the moment I'm going to start tomorrow, I'll finish the pending work first and then I'll move to the rest of the work. I don't curse myself for not being able to finish all of these. Earlier, I used to think the more I'm ticking the boxes, the more productive I am. And generally, that's how we feel. That's how we always learned to be productive. But believe me, that's not the right way of being productive. You can do one work throughout the day, you can give your best shot to that particular work, and you still can be productive. Yeah, that's how it is. So thankfully, in my mid 30s, I learned this thing, and now I don't hustle myself. And now if somebody says me that, oh Momita, you're very slow, try to do it fast, I'm like, then go somewhere else and look for something else, because I'm not going to move faster. Maybe numbers wise, quantity wise, I can accomplish quite a lot, but I won't be able to deliver quality. Quality always comes first for me than quantity. So that's the reason I focus on the quality, I focus on the work I'm doing, and that's how I try to deliver my work. I am a writer by profession, so I have a few clients, and I don't prefer to sign too many clients altogether, because when you have too many clients, you have too many deadlines to accomplish. you tend to make lots and lots of mistakes. I have seen this, I have experienced this firsthand while I was in my corporate job. We had clients after clients, we had multiple clients, and we used to go like in a huge speed, like in a Formula 1 racing speed, that we have to finish this today, that today, and everything. And ultimately those jobs used to come back after a week or so, that we made some mistakes, we wrote this wrong, we provided wrong information. Now, why to do a work all over again? Why to do rework? Rather, you can put all of your efforts and do your work and then get the job done. That's it. Maybe the pace is slow, but that's okay. The quality is great. Quality matters at the end of the day. Nobody will pick up a silly book or a stupid book to read for probably next 2 weeks. If the book is interesting, if that means something really great, if it has some great quality, then only people will invest their time into it. So that's all for today, guys. I don't know how much this video is going to help you, but I tried my best. I enjoyed making this video. Many of you already asked me on social media that why I make such videos. To be honest, my simple aim is whatever I learned throughout my life, I learned it the hardest way, and I want to make this little easier for you guys, so that you guys are not learning it the hardest way, the way I learned. I hope this makes some sense to you. I hope you get some direction in the coming days. Maybe now you will stop hustling, and maybe now you will start embracing slow life. Having a slow life is not a bad thing. You know, we have been socially conditioned all throughout our life that slow life is bad. Slow life is for the losers, people who don't have any aim, any goal in their life. They only live a very slow life. But no, that's not the truth. That's not how life is, at least not for me. The definition of life can vary from one person to another for sure, but at least I can say slow life is really interesting. Yeah, initially it may sound little boring, it may feel little boring, but the more you will try it, the more you will start spending your time slowly and with yourself, the more you will understand the importance of slow life. You know, when I'm in Bangalore, I go to cafe every day from Monday to Friday, and many people ask me that don't I feel boring over there, like going to the cafe all alone, sitting at a cafe all alone for 3 4 hours, sipping into my coffee, and sitting over there doing little bit of writing work, taking up a few one or two calls. Don't you feel boring? I say no, I don't feel boring at all. I feel that's my me time. That's the time for myself. I sit down, I enjoy my coffee. I don't think about anything else. When I am at a cafe, I sip into my coffee, the world literally stops around me. The world literally gets into a halt for me, because coffee is that thing for me, and I enjoy that slow moment. I enjoy my coffee. The cafe staff are really great, so sometimes they also come and start talking to me. I'm grateful that they really like me and they come and talk to me. I enjoy that. So yeah, that's all for this video. Let me know if you would like me to talk about any particular topic. I would love to take up the topic, do my research, and add my comments on it, add my thoughts on into it. So please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much. Stay tuned, stay hydrated in this summer, this year's 2026 summer is going to be really brutal. So please take care of yourself. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much. Take care.